morning, afternoon, and evening, wherever you are now. Few technical information for the very beginning. If you have any questions, just simply put your question in the Q&A section as a text. We will try to answer them very, very quickly because we want to make it quite interactive. This webinar will be recorded and in a few days will be available on Scylla channel on YouTube and sent to you as well. My name is Radoslav, and together with my friend Mateusz, we will dissect this frog. Let's go.
Okay.
Just few words about the Scylla. I believe you know who Scylla is. Scylla is a company behind a group of people who are very passionate in the security market. What is the very important for you to know that we do one of the most highly accurate and sensitive AI powered analytics, video analytics on the market. We have also our VMS. However, if you are comfortable with yours, we can easily integrate with our analytics to your VMS, to your software in control rooms. We are very flexible. We are camera agnostics.
Yeah, actually, everything that we do in a way that you can integrate with anything. So it doesn't matter what kind of system you have right now, what kind of cameras, analog, IP, doesn't matter, and what kind of VMS you have and how you want to integrate everything. Our products are made this way that they can be easily implemented in the current scenario, let's say.
And why we are talking about the smoke and fire today? Well, as Mateusz said a few minutes ago, just before we started, it's a hot topic. Yeah, hot. Why? Because some statistics here. We have the wildfires, for instance, in European Union this season. Until end of July, we had more than 1,000 wildfires. This is a great number. Great, it means a big number, a large number of the wildfires, and hectares lands just been burned. Moreover, according to statistics by the National Fire Protection Association, there are on more than 170,000 vehicle fires each year in the US. And also, waste management, based on the data from National Waste and Recycling Association, there are reported more than 390 incidents or events of fire in 2022 in the US and Canada. So the use case, smoke and fire, is outdoor, is waste disposal places, industrial as well, in retail, because there are a lot of tools, for instance, using lithium batteries, which can be burned, and car parkings and garages.
Yes. Oh. So basically, this is really a great topic to discuss right now. And I think, Radek, that this fits perfectly to this our saying, you know, that sometimes people are afraid that AI will take their jobs, right? And we often say that it's not true, that actually, if you are fast enough and you will use the AI right now, you will not take the jobs from someone else, but actually you will take the market. You will get more projects, you will get more customers. And this is one of the topics, like the smoke and fire detection, as we see that by the numbers, that it's needed right now, right? And the AI can help you out. And this is the great time to start. Because probably I see that we have many people on participants right now, and some of you probably are, let's say, specialized in this kind of systems, like how to detect the fire using the traditional systems. Or maybe you never ever touched this kind of projects before, because you know that this kind of market is kind of closed and regulated, right?
It is very, this is the case. It is very regulated with all the benefits, but also all the cons, because you cannot jump into the smoke and fire. And the question still remains, is it enough effective to use just the fire system.
Yeah.
And why do you use this? This is
Yeah.
the main question.
And I bet that lots of people are wondering right now, and probably when they saw the invitation for the smoke and fire, it's like, why? Yeah, because we have those normal, let's say, traditional smoke and fire detection systems, right? We have this kind of sensor, and its job is to detect the smoke. And we have also the sensors that can detect high temperature or even the flame. And usually people use those kind of systems. So how to jump in? And this is great opportunity for all of you, because if you are using those kind of traditional systems, then the AI can be another, let's say, solution for you, that you can solve some of the problems that this kind of solution cannot. And if you never ever touched this kind of projects before, again, the AI is perfect solution for you, because you can take the market, you can expand your business, adding this kind of solution, and starting from with the AI. You don't need to learn hard stuff about the certification and about those kind of solutions. You can start with the AI. And we need to know that even those old systems, those traditional systems that lots of people have some experience with, and they are used in many places, they have some disadvantages. First of all, they are really prone to false alarms because of the humidity, because of the fumes. For example, if you install this one in a kitchen, you know what I'm talking about, right? So you need to be careful with this kind of system, and you know that it will generate some kind of false alarms depending on the scenario where you install it. Second thing is limited sensitivity. So it will detect smoke, but you need to have the smoke on top of it near the sensor. And this is the problem. This is actually the problem, right?
This is good point, because I recently discussed with one end user, quite large office end user, and I asked him, why do you use those fire systems? And he said, because I must. Yes, because it's a legal obligation. Because without this, I cannot use my premises. Without the system, I don't have any insurance. That means insurance. You mean the money after the disaster? Let's say it's not
Yes.
the preventing system; it's a signaling system. Sometimes you've got connection to some sprinkles, but are you sure?
Yeah, this is the case. This is not proactive system. It's when this system will work, and it have to, right? Because it's like you are obligated to have something like that in your building. But when this starts to work, it's already too late. It means that you have fire. So this system is only to, let's say, help people to evacuate. It's not proactive. That's why lots of people are using this one. But on top of it, I mean, let's say on the side of it, they also use thermal cameras. And this is really great solution. When I was working for Konica Minolta, we sold many thermal cameras for the like manufacturing facilities, waste management facilities, buildings, like parking lots even. Why? Because the thermal camera have this great ability to detect and measure the temperature. So when there is something that can get hot or too hot, the thermal camera will send you the alarm and will notify you, so you can turn off the device and prevent the fire. So the fire detection system will, it's still needed, but it will not be triggered. But again, this is great solution, but it's not the solution for everything. This is not the answer for all the questions, because first of all, okay, it works before the fire occurs. This is true. It can detect the fire at the source, because with the traditional system, when you get the alarm that there is smoke, you don't know what is burning actually. You know that the detector detected the smoke, but where? What is actually burning? Is it, I don't know, my cell phone, or maybe this is some car battery or something? You don't know. Yeah, we need to find out. With the thermal camera, it will point exactly where the fire source is. Plus, it can work in high ceiling places or even outdoors. So all those places like parking lots, like garbage and dumps and places like this camera can detect fire source and can send you the notification where this fire source is. It doesn't matter if it's outside, inside, it will just work. Also, it works, it sees through smoke, because thermal cameras, for thermal camera, smoke is completely transparent. almost completely transparent. So even if there is lots of smoke inside the building, you can exactly know where is the fire source, yeah, even through the smoke. But this is somehow not so great solution. I will talk about it a little bit later. And
So to be honest,
and it's proactive, yeah.
Yeah, to be honest, we could close the presentation now, but
Yeah,
to be honest, we just starting now.
Yeah, because
This
lots
is
of people, they think that thermal camera is like, you know, the perfect aid, the cure for everything. Yeah, you will install the thermal camera and that's it, and everything is done. But you need to remember again that this is not a perfect solution. Why? Because again, the thermal camera, they have some limitation. The thermal radiation has some limitation. So when we talk about waste management facilities, often the problem is that this kind of camera will detect elevated temperature. It's not detecting like the fire itself, but there is some kind of source of high heat, trigger the alarm. And the problem with this waste management facilities, there are like excavators, some cars, some trucks running, and those have the exhausted pipes, and those can get really hot actually. So it will trigger the false alarms, and you need to react on those. Second thing, if something happens inside this garbage dump here, thermal camera will not detect this one. Why? Because like I said, thermal camera can register and detect surface temperature. So if this thing is getting too hot, you will get the notification. But if the fire starts behind this engine, somewhere on the bottom, you will not detect the fire until you get like the heat
visible,
up, yeah?
until it is visible, yes.
Or for example, like here, the fire started behind this curtain, and okay, you can see the smoke, but like I said, thermal camera cannot detect the smoke because it's see-through smoke. So it needs to wait until everything gets hot enough. So this is the problem. Second thing, the thermal camera cannot see through glass. The glass for the thermal camera is completely not transparent. It's like a wall for us, right? So we can see through this glass, but thermal camera for the is completely black. So if there is something really hot inside, you will not detect this one. And actually, there were situations like this. And when we talk about the parking lots, lots of people right now, they are using those power banks because, you know, you're driving for a long time, you have kids on the back seat, and you need to, you need to play the you know, cartoons and everything. So you need to plug in the camera with, the cell phone with the power bank, and you leave the power bank inside the car. And because of the heat from the sun, it can just self-ignite. And you will not detect this kind of thing from the thermal camera until it's too late. And this is actually the situation that happened in one of the parking lots in the United States, that it started from the power bank that was inside one of the cars. And this is the huge parking lot. It was connected to one of the shopping malls and airport. So they had to close all the buildings. So imagine the costs of something like this when you need to close everything. Not to mention the cars, of course, yeah. And the second, some other parking lot, or for example, this ship here with also cars on board when the fire started. Yeah, those are the huge costs. At the beginning of the presentation, we also said about the wildfires, like forest fires, right? And often people make this kind of mistake that they want to install thermal camera for forest fire detection. It will not work. Why? Because if the fire starts in the forest, it's on the ground level. So all the foliage, all the trees, or the branches, they cover this fire. It's not reaching the thermal camera. So you will detect this kind of fire with the thermal camera, but it will be already too late because it will burn lots of trees during this time. So the first thing that you will see, it's actually smoke, not the fire. So again, it's not perfect solution to use the thermal camera for this kind of situation. What else? One of the biggest projects that I had in Poland actually was for the coal storage facility. Yeah. And there is something that is called self-combustion of coal material. Actually, those facilities, they need to move the coal from one dump to another, from one keep to another, and they need to put water on it, because otherwise it will just self-combust, and the combustion will start from the inside. And because of the weather right now, when we have really hot weather, it can start really fast. and often it's already too late. And the only thing that you will detect, the first thing that you will detect, is actually the smoke, not the fire. And imagine, you know what the cost is of something like this? This is the mine, the coal mine in India. And I saw some statistics. So they are spending 1 billion USD just to relocate the villagers from those mines regions when the fire starts inside. And they estimated that they already burned 37 million tons of coal. I imagine, first of all, CO2 in the atmosphere, but second thing, they could sell it, right? But it's already gone. And it's not only for the coal, actually. It's also for the things like biofuel. Yeah, so this is compost pile. And what you can see here is thermal camera image. And as you can see here, the thermal camera, the temperature that the camera is reporting actually here is around 83 degrees. But if the guy will move the compost here, the inside can get up to 120, 140 degrees. This is the difference of the temperature. And inside this kind of biomaterial, you can have something which is called cold temperature self-combustion. It can start from 60 degrees even. And this cold temperature self-combustion, it means that there will be no fire source. It will be only smoke. And you cannot detect this one with the thermal camera. So does it mean that thermal cameras, just throw them away and don't use the thermal cameras? Actually, no. Actually not. Because most of the thermal cameras right now, just like this one, this Mobotix camera, they are provided with another lens. Those are called bispectral cameras. So you have both thermal camera, thermal sensor, and visible light sensor. And you can use this visible light because in all those situations here, every time that something happens, if you can see the smoke, let's say, use the normal operator that will be looking there, this operator can detect this kind of smoke and it can report. So if you can use both things, thermal and visual together, you can have perfect solution for fire and smoke prevention. It will be proactive.